Hello everyone, Saleh this side. Welcome back to the White Collar Engineer. Today in this video we are going to talk about the tentative cutoffs and composite score calculation for MBA admissions in top IITs. And in this video we are going to discuss 8 top IITs of India. And to start with, we have Shailesh J Mehta School of Management, which is IIT Bombay, right? So in order to gain admission to the MBA program at SJM SOM IIT Bombay, you need to have a minimum percentile of 94.73 if you are a general candidate. And in case of EWS, NCOBC, SC and ST, whatever percentiles are required, these are listed on the screen. You can take a screenshot of this slide right now, correct? But just let me tell you, these are the minimum percentiles which are required for getting a call. However, it is important to note that these are just the minimum eligibility criteria to apply, but the actual percentiles required to receive an admission offer are typically higher. Why? This is because of the competitive nature and the highly competitive applicant pool. Right. So talking about the selection process and weightage, 70% of your composite score is taken from the CAT score, 5% each from 12th marks, graduation marks, postgraduate or any professional qualifications, say for example CA, CS, etc. And 5% also from the work experience part. And if you are a female candidate, then you will be given 10 points for the gender diversity. Let's move further to discuss the criteria of IIT Delhi. So the minimum percentiles required to get a call from IIT Delhi are listed in this slide. Again, these are just minimum percentiles and you might require to have a greater percentile in order to, get a confirmed admission in IIT Delhi, right? Talking about the selection process and weightage, 60% of the weightage is given to CAT score, 7% each to 12th marks, 10th marks, work experience and graduation marks, 6% is given to the female candidates for gender diversity. And if your undergraduate institution is among the top premier colleges of our country, then you get extra 6 points, right? Next college in this list is VG SOM, IIT Kharagpur, right? So in VG SOM, the minimum overall percentile required for any general candidate to apply is 90. But for the OBC NC category as well as the SC ST PW category, the minimum overall percentiles are on a lower side, right? So the selection process overview of VG SOM involves 2 stages, shortlisting for the personal interview and final selection. So in the final selection, the CAT score is taken out of 20 points. There is also an application rating out of 20, and application rating evaluates academic performance at various levels as well as the work experience, like your 10th ka score, 12th ka score, graduation ka score along with your work experience points. So sab milake you get a score out of 20. There are also some points taken from the PI performance, and the female candidates receive an additional 4 marks to promote gender diversity, right? So this is the overall criteria of VGSOM, right? However, again, while the minimum percentiles are the eligibility criteria, the actual cutoffs for admission may be higher, and needless to say, this is because of the competitive nature of the selection process, right? Now let's discuss IIT Jodhpur. So just a piece of information. If you are someone who is searching for an IIT Jodhpur interview experience, please go and watch the IIT Jodhpur interview experience video, which was published in our channel a few days ago. The link of that particular video will be given in this video's description. So please go and have a look. So again, talking about the minimum CAT 2024 percentile requirements for MBA admission, it was 80 for the general candidates, 72 for the EWS or NCOBC candidates, and 52.8 for SCST or PWD candidates. Again, there was a sectional percentile as well. So when you are shortlisted for the PI, 55% of your composite score is being taken from the CAT performance, 20% from your academics as in 10th, 12th and graduation, 10% from your work experience, 5% for the gender diversity, 5% for PG qualification, and 5% from other achievements. So you need to mention all your achievements properly as well. The final selection is based on performance in the PI as well as composite score in the first stage, right? There is also an eligibility criteria involved here in Jodhpur. A minimum of 60% marks in aggregate has to be there in your qualifying degree. For SCST PWD candidates, there is a relaxation of 5%, as in you can apply even if you have a 55% marks, right? Let's move ahead to IIT Kanpur, right? So the minimum overall percentile required for IIT Kanpur is 80 in case you are a general EWS or OBC NCL or PWD candidate. But if you have an SC or ST certificate, then you get a lot of relaxation here, as in you can apply even with a 55 percentile, which is a bare minimum, right? There is a fair distribution in the percentage of different factors. They take 20% from your scaled score of CAT, 20% from your academic performance, which includes only HSC and graduation, no SSC mind you, 10% from your work experience, 20% from the GED, 30% from PI, and there are special provision for female candidates as well. Let's go to IIT Madras now. It's one of my favorite colleges, not because of its legacy in the world of engineering, but obviously, as you can see in the screen, it has a fair distribution of overall percentile across categories. If you want to apply to IIT Madras, you need to have a minimum of 85.11 percentile, irrespective of the fact that you are a general candidate or an OBC candidate or an SC/ST or PWD candidate. There is also a sectional percentile involved here, as in across the sections you need to have a 50 percentile, minimum of 50 percentile, right? So the exact composite score calculation is not yet revealed for IIT Madras, but the factors like CAT 2024 score, academic performance, work experience, and diversity factors such as gender diversity, academic diversity, etc. are being considered. So along with the PI, there is also a reflective writing round, which is similar to the VAT, I believe, right? So your performance in the reflective writing and personal interview are also considered. Let's discuss IIT Roorkee. We do not have a firm percentile requirement in case of IIT Roorkee, but we have a range. As in, if you are a general candidate, you need to have an overall percentile within the range of 94 to 96 in order to apply for IIT Roorkee. Talking about the composite score calculation, they take 65%, which is a major chunk in the calculation from the CAT score. There is 10% for the GD, 20% for the PI, and 5% for the work experience. There is also a bare minimum sectional cutoff of 50 percentile across all the three sections, right? So if you meet the overall and sectional cutoff requirements for CAT score, you get shortlisted for PI and GD, right? Once you are done with your PI, then the composite score for your final selection is calculated in this manner. Again, the eligibility criteria is very simple. 60% marks in your graduation degree if you are a general candidate, and there is a relaxation of 5% for the SC/ST PWD candidates as well. Last but not the least, let's come to IIT or ISM Dhanbad. The overall percentile required for general candidates is 80. For EWS it is 72. For OBC it's 70. But for SC/ST PWD it is not explicitly specified, but typically it has to be a lower cutoff than the OBC cutoffs, right? Again, needless to say, meeting these thresholds does not guarantee your admission, as the selection process is competitive and it considers multiple factors. So there is also a bare minimum sectional cutoff here. You need to have a 50 percentile, bare minimum 50 percentile across the three sections of your CAT, right? And once you are through, once you meet the sectional cutoffs as well as the overall cutoffs, you get a chance to appear for the PI, right? And once you are done with your PI, then the composite score is calculated after taking 35% from CAT score, 40% from PI score, 10% of academic performance, 10% from work experience, and 5% extra points are given to the female candidates in order to promote gender diversity. Again, the eligibility criteria is fairly simple. 60% if you are a general candidate in your graduation, 55% if you are a category student. So with this, we come to an end of this video. Let me know if you have any doubts in the comment section, and also don't forget to like the video if you have found this content useful. Share your thoughts over the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe to the White Collar Engineer.